Hi and welcome to this course. In this video lesson, I'll be talking about the code editor I'll be using throughout this course. Okay, so I'll be using the Visual Studio Code Editor throughout this course, and if you want to use any other code editor like Atom or Bracket or Sublime Text, then please feel free to do so. But I'll be using the Visual Studio Code, and if you want to get Visual Studio Code, then you can go to Google and you can search for VS Code or Visual Studio Code, and then click on this first link, which is from code.visualstudio.com. Okay, so just click on that, and then you will see the download button over here. So just download it. I am using a Mac machine, that's why it's saying download for Mac. If you're using a Windows machine or a Linux machine, then it will say download for Windows or download for Linux. Okay, so just download this software and then install it. I have already installed Visual Studio Code, so I'm not going to reinstall it. And after you have installed it, just open it. So I'm going to open my Visual Studio Code, and after opening the Visual Studio Code, you can just minimize this Chrome browser, and then you need to create a folder somewhere on your drive. And I'm going to create a folder on my desktop, and I will create a folder and I will name it JS course. You can name it anything you want, but I'm naming it JS course. After creating the folder, just open this folder inside of the Visual Studio Code. So I'm just going to drag this and it will open it in the Visual Studio Code. If you can't do it like that, then you can go to file and then you can click on open and open this folder from this button. Okay, now after opening this folder, we need to create some file inside of this folder. So just click on this JS course folder over here and then click on this icon. Okay, and then create a first file which will say index.html. So we are creating an index.html file to write some HTML. Alright, now I am assuming that you know some HTML, and if you don't, then don't worry about it. Just write whatever I'm writing here. So just type HTML and then click on this one. So HTML column 5. Just click on this one and it will give you the basic structure of the HTML. And after that, just go inside this body and then write the script. So just use this script here and then close this like so, and hit enter. Alright, after writing the script tag, we need to provide a source for our JavaScript file, but we don't have a JavaScript file right now. So I'm going to create a new JavaScript file. So just click on this JS course and then click on this icon once again and then create a JavaScript file. You can name it whatever you want. So I'll name it basic.js and then hit enter. And here is your JavaScript file. Now inside of this script tag, we need to provide a source. We need to link this JavaScript file to this index.html file, and this is how we do it. We provided a source, and then source will be basic.js like so. Now let me explain what I just did there. So in this script tag, we are providing a source, we are providing the file that we have on our drive, and our JavaScript file is in the same folder as the index.html files, and that's why we are not providing any folder here. If you have your JavaScript file inside of some folder like script, and then inside of this script folder you have your JavaScript file, then you need to write script/basic.js. But we have our JavaScript file right in this JS course folder, and that's why we are not doing that. Okay, so just save this file then, and then go to this basic.js file, and now we'll write our very first line of JavaScript code. And in this first line, I want to display hello world in the console, and for that I'll type in console like that, and then I will type dot, and then I will type log. Okay, and then I will use this parenthesis like so, and in the end I will put the semicolon, and in here I will type the quotation first, and then I will say hello world. Okay, so what this line will do is it will print the hello world in the console of the browser. Okay, and these parentheses are just the part of the syntax. We need to type it like that. And you can also use this single quotation instead of this double quotation, so just use whatever you want. I prefer the single quotation, so I'm going to use the single quotation. If you want to use a double quotation, then you can use a double quotation. And in JavaScript, we can also use this semicolon at the end of the line, and that's what I prefer to do. But if you don't want to write this semicolon, then you can leave it like so. But I prefer the semicolon at the end, so I'll type in the semicolon. Okay, now just save this program and then go to your folder and open this index.html file inside of a browser. I am going to use the Chrome browser and I suggest you to do so. Okay, so this is our folder and we don't see anything in here. Well, why is that? Well, we are not printing anything on this page. We are not printing anything on this index.html file. We are printing it in the console. But where is the console, right? That is the question. Well, to go to the console, you need to right click and then you can click on inspect. And then you can click on this console over here. And here you will see the hello world program. And I'll be using this console throughout this course, so just know the step. First, you need to right click and then you need to click on inspect. And then you need to click on console. So let me show this to you once again. First, right click and then click on inspect and then go to console. And here we see our hello world program. Okay, now let's just go back to our code editor and change this to hello. And then save this and go back to this browser and refresh this and you will see hello. Alright, so that was cool, right? Okay, now before I let you go, I want to teach you something else. I want to teach you something about the comment. So what are comments and how can we create a comment? Well, comments are the line which are written for the preference of the programmer. They are written as a note for the programmer and they are ignored by the JavaScript. Okay, so you can write anything here. So this above line prints something to the console. So these are the comments, and to write a comment you just need to type in these forward slashes. So just type in 2 forward slash like this, so 2 forward slash, and then you can write your message. Okay, you can write comment like this. Okay, now just save this and these line will not be executed, right? So these are just for the preference of the programmer. These are not for the JavaScript. Okay, so these line will not be executed. These are just used as notes for programmers. So programmers write these comments as notes. Okay, so just save this and go back to this browser and refresh this and you won't see anything here. Okay, I hope that you understood everything I taught you. And before I let you go, I just want to refresh everything you learned today. So first step, we downloaded the Visual Studio Code and then we created a folder, and inside of this folder we have 2 files. The first file is index.html and the second file is basic.js. And in this index.html file we wrote some HTML code, and inside of this HTML code in the body tag we linked our basic.js file to this HTML file using this line of code. Okay, and in the basic.js we are printing hello on the console of the browser, and we are using the console.log statement. Then we learned about the comments, and we also learned about how to open this console in the Google Chrome browser. So that was a lot to take in, and I hope you enjoyed this video lesson, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.